Pop Squat, coming at ya. Hey everybody. This is an apology video. I messed up. I should have done some research ahead of time, and hey, I haven't run into trouble with that before, have I? Yeah, of course I have. And I had foolishly thought that the FN Meka story was only at its beginning with the announcement last week that they had this AI, quote unquote AI rapper signed to a record deal. Had not heard any of the follow up of all the crap that came out almost immediately thereafter. And so I want to apologize for even making the video that I posted yesterday, because I wouldn't have done it had I actually seen the news about everything else. However, that does continue to reinforce the whole idea that I talk about here, that information is reality. What we know is, and what we see, what we perceive, what we understand about the world is what is real. I had not heard about all of the crap going on behind FN Meka, and that it's not actually, as far as I have been able to find from doing some reading, an actual AI. It's just like a gorilla's style character that they just flat out lied about and said it's AI. As far as I understand, maybe AI is involved in some way, but it's bullshit. And somebody, who was I watching here? Somebody in the comments said to listen to this fella, Jarvis Johnson. Really some good info. I'm going to link to this in the comments of this video, or in the description of this video. I'll also link to this in the actual FN Meka reaction video that I did, so that people can follow up and see what the truth is. It is messed up. And he talks, Jarvis Johnson here talks about, like, am I actually canceling a virtual creator that, isn't a real person? No, you're not canceling. There is no canceling. That's just such a bullshit term from whiny people who do and say things that are stupid and refuse to take responsibility for it. What we're doing when we find out about what's actually going on with FN Meka and the people behind it, and what they were trying to do, and what they actually did to the people who were involved. For instance, Kyle the Hooligan, who is the rapper who actually does FN Meka's voice, and I'm not sure exactly what else here, but he was involved with the team, was promised to be given some equity in the character and the company itself, I assume, and it just didn't materialize. He got screwed over. He's rightfully suing them, I think, and it just seems like a bunch of garbage. But what we're doing is not canceling people. What we are doing is giving them consequences for their actions. It takes some fucking responsibility when you do something wrong. Understand that if people are giving you a hard time, or if they are canceling you, you're not in the right, even if you think you are. And if it's overwhelmingly negative responses from people, you really need to look at you and what you've done. And I hope this company goes out of business. I hope the people involved with it, other than, I forget his name, Kyle the Hooligan, he doesn't deserve any crap. He thought he was contributing to something that he found super interesting, that he thought he was dealing with people who were going to be fair with him. There we go, talking about trust again. And he wasn't. He was dealing with people who either had no clue how to run a business, how to be moral, ethical people, how to be upfront about things. It's clear to me that they lied about how much AI was involved in this, and the fact that they lied to, even if they didn't lie to him in the moment, they lied to him after the fact, because they didn't follow through on what they were told the guy they were going to do. It's garbage. So, yeah, you're not being canceled. People are rejecting the lies that you've told them, and they are rejecting the story that you told them because it was untrue and you weren't upfront about that. So, If you try this sort of thing again, or if somebody else tries it, just be honest about it. How long has Gorillas been around? 20 plus years? Nobody gives them a hard time because they're upfront about it. They're like, yeah, this is a virtual band, but there are real people behind it, and you can find out who those people are. And they're not saying that it's computer generated art that they're doing. Yeah, the characters themselves are computer generated, but it's all done by animators and, you know, etc., etc. They build a story up behind the scenes and explain what's going on in this crazy Gorillas universe. And in this case, they just said, "Oh no, Meka, fully AI, uh, bullshit. It's just you lied. You flat out lied." And now you're getting your comeuppance. That's what happens when you lie and you get caught, and what you did was really a pretty shitty thing to do. So I wanted to apologize because I would not have reacted to the video had I done some more research on it. But again, I like to come into videos not really knowing very much about the creator itself, themselves, and that really worked against me in this instance. I'm going to link to, so this is the TMZ site. I hate going to TMZ just because I hate what they do. It's just very predatory style of journalism and over the top and extreme, and I don't like it. Jarvis Johnson also points in his video to this lovely post about FN Meka being in prison in his virtual world and being beaten by the cops because he won't snitch, and it just seems like a really bad idea. I mean, this is just making light, even if they didn't intend it. That doesn't matter, because it really is making light of the fact that this sort of stuff happens and that this sort of life is reality for people. And if you think this is funny or somehow going to make people identify more closely with your fake online rap persona, AI in theory person, that's not the right way to go about it. It's just not. There's also issues with them using the N-word in the rap, and I know if Kyle the Hooligan is the guy saying the words, fine, he gets to say the N-word. I don't. White people who have any amount of respect for fellow human beings also do not use that word. And if people do use the word around you, you know, either you tacitly accept that, or they're just absolute assholes. I say that because I know somebody like Eminem uses that word, and he is allowed to say it. I don't know the rules, the guidelines. Like, I don't want to use that word because it's just a very disrespectful word, and there's a ton of history behind it, and I absolutely acknowledge that, and I have no business saying it. Now, I will say, with my friends, I will use that word when there is no one else around and I am saying it like because it was used in a song, and I'll actually use the word because I know I'm not going to be offending anyone. So I know it is possible for me to say the word, but I'm never going to use it around people who it's going to offend. I'm never going to use it in a negative way. And it just is, it's so disrespectful. It's so ignorant and painful. It's like, why do it? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. And I've talked about before on the channel how when I was a kid we used to play Pile, and not cool, and I'm not that person anymore. I would not ever do that. I would not teach a child to play that really stupid game. But this really pissed me off. And especially as I was listening through, I don't even know how he was as calm as he was reporting on this, because he actually did dig into things a little bit. He went to the Instagram page for FN Meka, he friended them, and he found this post of him in prison being beaten by guards. What are you thinking doing that? So, tons of respect for Jarvis Johnson here. I think he did some really good investigation, and I thought this video was actually quite good. And you can see I didn't even make it all the way through yet, and it made me go, yeah, I need to put something out about this. So I apologize. I like the idea of AI music creation because, again, it adds up to create something much bigger than itself when you add in like all these other types of AI, and we could get them together to coordinate and become something much bigger than itself, and try to create consciousness. And I don't even know if that's actually possible to do as a computer thing, as a model. But who knows? Maybe it will be one day, and we're just not there. But these are all the little tiny steps that we need to take to get there. The fact that some company, this FN Media or whatever the hell it's called, would try to co-opt that to just, it's so stupid to say, but to just make money, to get to 10 million followers on TikTok, to attract the attention of a music label. I mean, it's all just lies, and to think that that wouldn't come out is a level of arrogance and ignorance that is just beyond my comprehension. I mean, it's just like, and a lot of people probably don't remember this, or know about it, I should say. People who were around at the time definitely remember it. The whole Milli Vanilli scandal of the 80s, I think it was, where they were models hired to perform as if they were the singers and performers, and instead they were just lip syncing and dancing to music that other people had made who didn't get the credit they should have gotten. And it was a big deal. This is just a virtual version of that, and these guys should be raked over the coals just as much as the liars behind Milli Vanilli. And if you don't know who Milli Vanilli is, really, you're probably better off, because it's pop crap music that, it was fine. It sounded fine. It was fine music. But the fact that it was all motivated and couched in lies and deception makes it not worthwhile. And that's the same thing with FN Meka. So I won't be listening to any more FN Meka, and if any more virtual rappers come up or AI rappers come up, as much as I am attracted to the idea, the concept of it, I will definitely look into it before I do any videos on them. Because, like I said, I really enjoy things like Midjourney and other AI art generation sites and programs. And I had hoped maybe FN Meka was in some way similar to that, where it was actually pulling together different types of music and lyrics and putting them together in a way that makes sense. But that's apparently not what was happening in this case. And instead, what they're doing is representing really black culture in a way that they have no, I'll say right. I'm not sure if right is the correct word, but they really don't have a right to do that, because I think the people behind it are not white, other than maybe some other members of the team and the guy who was actually doing the rapping, like the actual performing. Not cool. Not cool. Don't steal other people's shit and call it your own, and represent yourself as someone that you're not, because it will piss people off. Why would you do that? Just be honest, be upfront. If they had come forward and said, hey, we're working with a team of people to create a virtual rapper, and while not all of us are black people or brown people, Hispanic, whatever, because it could be any race they could represent with a computer generated character, we want to be aware of the fact that we are not all people of that culture, and we will try to be as respectful as possible. Like, if they had come forward and said that, then fine. Then people would be able to judge with accurate information. Do I even care about this? Do I want to be pissed off about it? Do I think what they're doing is wrong? Do I think what they're doing is right? Then they're able to judge that based on complete information and accurate information. What they did in this case was misleading at best and just flat out cynically nasty and evil opportunism at worst, and really hurts people in a way that we don't even have words for. Like a virtual character being racist. That sounds insane. And yet that's exactly what this is. And it's ridiculous, and it should never have been done, and the people behind it ought to have known better. And even the crow outside agrees with me. I'm just realizing he's talking to me. Yes, I hear you. And yeah, I just wanted to apologize. I wouldn't have done the video had I researched this a little bit. And I'm not going to take the video down. I think some of the things I said are still fine. Obviously, the stuff I said about, hey, it being AI generated and pulling in all these, that's not true. That was my assumption based on what I knew when people used the words AI created. That's what I think was happening, or thought was happening, and that's not what was happening. It was all just a bunch of bullshit and lies, and I hope these guys get everything they deserve. So thank you very much for all this. Like I said, I'll link to some information down below here if you are not familiar with what had gone on with this. And yeah, I'll be more careful about that sort of thing in the future. But I was actually kind of excited about an AI rapper, and I thought it was going to be cool, but it's not. It's just a bunch of lies. Pop Squat. Chicken. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. And once again, sorry about all this. Bye-bye.